So, ladies and gents, we got some mid-elo casting here. People have been requesting more of it. Happy to supply it. Wasn't expecting to do it today, but here we are. In the yellow, we have a Gus Pipe. A Gus Pipe. That has a ring to it. Playing as the Ethiopians. Accidentally forgot to finish a house. No big deal. In the blue, we have Gregoire Schiller. I don't know if I said that properly, but I tried my best, and it sounded fancy. Playing as the Franks. We just, before this, looked at this guy's profile. Sorry, not this player, but another player's profile, 1050 ELO. They had 2,500 games. It was just Frank. So to be frank, we are, well accustomed to this ELO picking Franks. A big reason you pick Franks is because it's like, and I don't mean to offend anyone here, but I always like to call it, those books, it's like such and such for dummies. Here you've got like wood crafting for dummies and guitar for dummies. I don't know. In the States growing up, it was like a big thing. You get someone a something for dummies, some hobby for dummies book for their birthday or something. Anyways, it's just a very easy civ to play. Like those books would just break it down and be like, this is the flow of this and that. Not that I ever read those books or read any books whatsoever because I kind of suck in that manner. But Franks have a lot of bonuses that flow together. They have the forage bonus, the farm bonus, more HP on their scouts, more on their knights, cheaper castles. It's just easy to play. So why do you play Franks? Because they're easy to play and they can dominate. They're a really good civ. So I'm going to expect, and I could be wrong, I'm going to expect that we're going to see something like scouts here from blue. But Ethiopians, guys, Ethiopians is a bit off meta from what we might see picked. A lot of people like to see scout civs. And if they don't pick a scout civilization, they're usually going to go for the Britons or the Mayans maybe for archers. But I think Ethiopians are very good civ for up against the Franks, particularly at this elo. Faster firing archers. And then on top of that, you're also going to have the free pikeman upgrade, which can be helpful later. Yeah, I would agree. Franks are very well designed. I think there's a world where, if certain other... Oh my God! Dang, bro. 1050 Pro over here. Yeah, you go finish that sheep you accidentally killed to the left of the town center, but my goodness. How does that make you feel, Yellow? That's impressive. I was not expecting 1050 Elo player to do that. Then again, more and more people are using that trick these days. Well, as good as that Borlore was, the berry position here is awful. Like, I don't know what Yellow was planning on doing today, but he should probably curse the AoE gods because it's like this hill was made to make his life difficult there with the berries. So far, so good. You do need to have a bit more of a wall focus if you're playing against the Scout Civ. I don't mind Yellow doing this. Not the biggest fan of the mill, but we might have a situation where he walls towards the mill, and then, oh, no. Oh, he saved it. Impressive. Wow, what a interesting moment that was. Let's look at Yellow scouting. Here he goes, weakening the TC, the boar with the TC. There you go, finishing the boar right into the TC. Okay, so since we're trying to teach, I see this a lot, okay? I see this a lot. I want to talk about this for a second. We're going to go back, then we're going to get back to where we were. So, when you look at this map, there's normally a range in which your opponent's going to be located. So look at the mini-map for a second. Your opponent's never going to be, like very rarely is going to be here, very rarely is going to be here. Normally it's like boom, boom, boom. So somewhere in this region, usually, okay? So when you're scouting, you got to look at safe territory. And so the territory that's safe would be any territory near a hill, because there's never going to be hills near your TC. Any territory near a wood line, because there's never going to be wood line next to the TC. Or you could say berries, obviously, or stone or gold. So if you are scouting and you encounter a lot of flat ground, this is where, like right about here, this is where you've got to think, oh, I should veer off. Now, I'm sure he was distracted, right? Like, it's clear to us he's placing some walls and doing some stuff at home. But, just a tip for you, if you're on the flat ground for too long, just veer off and try and find something. He was a little unlucky. He could have found the gold. He could have found the woodline on either side. Anyways, we'll go back to where we were. I just wanted to bring that up for people who might want some coaching later on. What I would suggest is you just find wood lines and then you just do circles while trying to stay close to a wood line. That's always a safe method, but sometimes life is not going to treat you so fairly, and, you know, bad things can happen. Now, meanwhile, is Blue auto scouting? I swear to God, where's he going? No, okay, so this is manual scouting from Blue. And honestly, this is thorough scouting from Blue, but maybe at an elo where he doesn't have to face up against any Dark Age pressure that much. Scouting that would be a really important thing here. But I guess we are at 1050. T90, does this advice on how not to lose your scout to the TC also work on a king? Okay, fair joke. I did lose my king to a town center in a tournament this year. However, I'm not giving tips on the king. I'm giving tips on the scout, so that was unnecessary and not at all relevant. Thank you for bringing that up, just when everyone else had forgotten. Almost looks like we're going to have some interesting fast castle play here from yellow, but I think yellow's just really concerned that there could be a scout rush, so yellow's just going to wall up. I don't mind just getting a full wall down if you're going to be scout rushed, but I don't like not having a barracks. I don't like seeding farms, which means you won't have wood to be able to make the barracks. So since Ethiopians get plus 100 food and plus 100 gold when you get to the next age, I honestly think that this is a fast castle attempt for yellow. And this would be crazy fast as well. Now, it's doable for higher level players to maybe do like a 23 pop, but they would have pushed in their deer and they wouldn't have had the idle time. So I don't know, man. See Blue walling up a little bit as well. Blue making lots of houses. Blue's going to go into a scout rush. Blue seeding farms before feudal age. Interesting. In yellow's case, that makes more sense because yellow's going fast castle. In blue's case, you do get the farm upgrades for free in the next stage, so I'm not sure I love that. And you might be thinking, how do you stop walls? Well, the starting scout can do that, and blue is just still scouting the map, so he's not really seeing... I don't think blue sees this scout as really a weapon. He's just gone for thorough vision. Obviously, it's not bad to have. At least his scout didn't die to the town center, right? It's still good to have the scout. Do you guys think this was the strategy from yellow at the start? Or do you think this is an adapted strategy here? Lots of walls. There's the stable from blue. Blue at this point has seen the mill and he's seen the wall and he's just out of here. And now he's like, maybe I should check. Well, I have to say, I'm curious to see what blue does. Because this is not a perfect fast castle by any means. But I don't think it's going to be the worst one ever for yellow. I think yellow could go for a market or something and figure this out. Again, I'm not trying to offend anyone who plays Franks a lot. But I feel like there's people who play Franks all the time and don't play other civs. They're probably just used to going scouts, and they don't really deviate from that much. They don't get pushed out of their comfort zone. If they do get pushed out of their comfort zone, that's the game they lose. So I'll be curious to see what blue does. Like, what blue should do here is not make any scouts. That's what blue should do. It's tough to do that, though, because you don't know if they have a hidden building behind here. But you should not make scouts. And you should just try and get some villagers over to gold and go up to Castle Age. So blue is not making scouts, which is the correct move. And also starting to make some walls. So I actually really like how blue is adapted to this. And maybe, you know, I assumed a little bit too much about this guy. Yeah, yellow did get loom, which is why he went gold. Yellow is now adding the archer range. So you can see how important it is to keep an eye on things with your scout here. Because if you then see the archer range, then you have to know, oh, this guy might make archers. I need to make sure that I actually have some scouts. Honestly, very impressive from yellow. He's going to go Castle Age. He probably will start to make archers. Problem for yellow would be that yellow's not going to have a ton of archers. The castle age time will be very fast, though. Obviously, there's a lot you can do with that. So the biggest thing for blue that I'm noticing that could be seen as a mistake is just being late to gold. I have a feeling that a lot of players at mid-elos probably rely on the market in these situations. It's probably a good thing to make at this point and buy and sell some res to fix your situation, but obviously want to work on the timing there with the gold income. And whoa, dude! Don't let me come off here as too rude to be all this surprised, but blue didn't make scouts. He's now tracking the archers. What is this? What is this? I'm impressed, man. Now, what will he do here? And also, double range from yellow is also quite good. Overall, these guys are playing very well. I'm 1050 elo is honestly so solid. There's a couple small things like making your houses on your gold like that. You could make arguments to not send as much to gold if you're Ethiopians because you get the plus 100 soon. I think blue could have been on gold faster. Like, honestly, that could lose blue the game. Not being on gold at that time and not being on the way to Castle Age already could lose blue the game. But we'll see. All right. So, yellow wants to go all in crossbow numbers with ballistics. Great thing with the Ethiopian. Do you really want to get ballistics for 4 crossbows? I don't know about that one. I think that wood needs to be farmers here because he doesn't have a lot of food to be able to get the crossbowman upgrade. But he's going to work his way towards it. Blue with lots of house walls. Blue now on the way up. Last blue checked. There was actually 2 ranges. This is still not fully walled. Would probably be wise to send another villager to finish this. The idea of going houses is good because it keeps you protected. This is definitely a point where blue is crossing his fingers. And he's just like, well, I hope this thing doesn't happen because I don't have anything to deal with it yet. Blue add the second stable. Also a good time to get your gold upgrade as you're on the way to the next stage. Knights will cost a lot of gold. And this is a very I was going to say defensive, but it's not quite a defensive game. It's just we haven't seen a lot of action in this game yet. Now yellow has brought his archers out. Now the thing about crossbow that makes it strong is the timing. Obviously the mass is important later on, but your early strength is all timing. It's hitting them before they have knights. That hasn't happened here. So now the longer yellow sits back, the more I think yellow should continue to sit back because moving out could be a problem. Blue with some palisade walls. Blue with the palisade gate. Again, blue 2 stables. Blue scouting the map. To anyone who's 1050 watching, do you think that blue has just been able to be so relaxed about this because normally the pressure doesn't come in at this time? Because it is 20 minutes. Honestly, blue played it really well. Obviously benefited a lot from the Frank bonuses, but very clean. Just really felt like the way yellow was going here, yellow was going to push out. Yellow is still keeping production rolling, though. Still could plan on ballistics. Interesting little game we have here. Yellow does not have the best vision. Probably the most relatable scouting pattern for many of you. Boom, right into the enemy town center. Didn't even see all those farms. We have the knights on the way. I'm not in love with this TC, but I don't hate it. It's on a wood line and it's a gold. The only reason I don't love it is because the wood line's weird. Honestly, it's not really your fault, blue. Maybe a TC here would have been a little better, but then that's potentially in harm's way. Low amounts of TC idle time from both players. And yellow's really gearing up now. Going for full armor on the crossbows. Also has ballistics on the way. So we'll have all upgrades except for thumb ring. Still has been on 1 TC. 1050 archers are all over me in feudal early castle. Interesting. So this is not your normal game is what you're telling me. See what I mean about that time window, though? mean, Yellow's food economy is really good too. It almost looks like if Yellow was Leary, you would just go fast imp. But there's no way a 1050 elo player can go fast imp Arbalest successfully, right? I feel like a lot of bad things happened before then. Okay, these villagers are going to go take stone. This is common with the Franks. Think about some defensive castles. Chain barding armor now for the knights. Blue just scouting out with the scout still. Yellow getting thumb ring now. Yellow, are you ever going to move out, though, my friend? Going to stone as well. I don't like how passive Yellow has been in this game. It felt like the fast castle could have worked out if the army had gone forward. Put Blue under some pressure. 19 crossbows. I mean, if you micro them with Ethiopians, you can definitely kill 8 knights, but it's about to be 11 knights. Interesting. I'm 1050. I see a lot of fast castles hoping to punish feudal aggression that is too late or not aggressive enough. Okay, well, here comes Blue. Very, very peaceful and campy. Out of the ordinary, according to many people watching. Yellow's happy to have not taken damage, though. Has lots of upgrades. This is definitely a spot, guys. If you're in Blue's position, where you should go forward siege. Your opponent has an archer civ. And they have archers in there. Now, obviously, you kind of want to locate those before you send the villager out. But if he starts to defend himself by attacking over top of his walls... And I would love to see you actually attack the houses here, Blue. Like, force something, right? Running around, it doesn't force a reaction from him at all. Yeah, right here seems perfect. Look at that. His gold's there. His gold's here. His gold's here. Pressure him, man. 25 crossbows now. Blue's not attacking the walls. I say that a lot. Even if... Yeah, there you go. I guess he didn't think you could break through. Even if they do this, there, now you know the army's there. Now you run away. Okay, took him a while to react, and that's the problem with Ethiopian crossbows. Messy for Blue as Blue runs away, and oh, he's running into more shots. Oh, God, those units are so good. Now, he might go for defensive siege now, honestly. He might be so concerned about that it becomes defensive siege. Guys, I think Yellow... It reminds me of a mini Leary. I think about how Leary or like Winchester play with archer civs. I think he wants to go fast imp. Oftentimes with a fast imp Arbalest play, you do need to sell off your wood. Usually you can't have the gold eco to be perfect. At least if you send this many villagers to stone. More villagers going to stone now for Blue. Blue seeding some more farms right now. And... trying to get the relics. IT90, love the cash. Just purchased AoE2 and I'm looking forward to reliving my childhood. Nice. These guys are in the middle of the pack. And so far it's been a very passive game, but 60 villagers versus 49. One thing that has to be said about Yellow, he's kept that... bad time to bring it up, but he has kept that TC working almost all the time here. Whereas for Blue, while there have been 3 town centers... Blue hasn't kept them producing all the time, which makes sense, right? It's more work. This is going to be a castle for Yellow. Now, I would prefer to see a castle here. I feel like that protects your base. This castle doesn't really protect much, but Yellow's going to go fast imp Arbalest. Dang. Again, Market is your friend in these situations. Highly recommend. He could have clicked up a while back. We have a castle here for Blue. Now, I like what Blue's doing. So, in Blue's position, the Arbalest are going to be an issue for a certain period of time, but you have a lot of knights, and once these are upgraded, you can potentially push the Arbs. I'm getting a bit of PTSD watching this, though. I played a game of Spanish against the Ethiopians. Last night, I played like 4 games or whatever yesterday evening, and I was really tired. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play one more. I'm almost 2K2 again. We'll just do one more game. The game was an hour and 50 minutes. It was insane. And at one point, my opponent had 50 Arbs, 40 Halbs, and like 40 Showtails. No joke, because I was raiding his base, and he lost all of his villagers. He went down to like 50 villas, and then he had 150 military that I could not kill. It's ridiculous. I'm thinking through Ethiopians right now, and I'm thinking about how good they can be because they can go into halbs as well here. But I don't think it's necessarily a situation right now for yellow because yellow been fairly all in here towards the archer line. And again, this is where market's really helpful because you need to afford your upgrades. T90, I always find that my queues for TCs and ranges get crazy long when I get stressed. Is this something you need to just get used to and get better? Do you mean you over queue? Is that what you mean? Like you make too many things? If that's what you mean, that is somewhat common. I would say that that's better than the alternative, though, where you don't queue anything at all. And so I have that issue as well. Like I said, on the WWC tourney, Wandering Warriors Cup, I'm one game away from losing my best of 3 because I lost the first game, and I queued up to 175 villagers because I just kept queuing vills. So it happens to the best. It even happens to, players better than I. I would say the big thing is just be more mindful of it over time. But yeah, that's definitely part of the game. And oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, there's a hole there. Yellow, make a stone wall. There's a hole there. And fast imp into GG, man. Now all the crossbows have to come back. Blue is in. I mean, blue's only killed 1 villager so far. There is a chance that if blue loses his entire army, this could be good for yellow, kind of. But blue could still click up to imp, and blue could always make more army, and yellow's been on a bit of a timer for a while here. Like, Arbalest and Bracer are on the way. And those will be in 30 seconds, and if that's in, then blue will definitely lose all of his army. But look at the Vil difference now. Again, why? This castle makes 0 sense. This castle doesn't protect anything. I think he needs to think that one through a little bit more next time. I mean, he does have food, so we can add more villagers. But he's at 35 now, and blue's now on the way up. Blue able to save some army. 23-0 with the Eco KD. Blue is pretty well protected now. I would like to see a few more castles on hills. Castles on hills, knights. Castles on hills, knights. Castles on hills, knights. That's basically what Franks have to do. He's done it, though. We'll see what kind of damage yellow can do. I mean, I could see blue freaking out. Blue's still 2 minutes away from imp. These Arbalest are going to discover things for the first time since Dark Age. Yellow hasn't been over here all game. He's been very scared. I don't know why my battery backup is making noises right now. Sure, it's fine. If I disappear, though, we had some weird thing happen here. Villagers going down. Blue saved the stone for this castle. Good stuff. Castle will go up. And there's a couple small things here, like you could get fletching. Because you're concerned that, maybe the castle fire won't be enough. But yeah, just garrison your TC here, blue. Deep breaths. No, don't lose your knights. Don't lose your knights. You don't need to lose these knights. There you go. Good idea. And you just chill out. Chill out and queue up more army. Wait for upgrades. We do have a Treb for yellow. So he's going to likely start to push this castle down. That's what you have to do. In yellow's position, it's all about snowballing push. Okay, so we go 1 TC all of Castle Age, and now we go to 4 TCs to catch up in build. I mean, he does have a lot of food. I don't mind that. We're going to see blue lose his town center. He also has full upgrades on his units, too. It's honestly pretty good from yellow. We now have Cavalier for blue. Big thing for blue is you got to have more numbers than this. There was just a long time there while he was on his way up where he wasn't queuing units, but he is still going to be queuing more. We're going to see this TC go down. We're going to see another forward castle from yellow. He's being very, as I say, in your face about things here. This is important. Honestly, this could be winnable for yellow. But you should be no reacting here. Tell you what would be good from blue. It might be too late now because he almost, like, this is so in his face he has to deal with it. But sending 5 or so cav to yellow's eco would be amazing, because then yellow, instead of sending all of his new army forward, would have to send something home to deal with it. And sometimes players will send too much. There's a lot of things blue could do here. The chivalry technology. That means your stables produce faster. That would be really helpful. Could have considered Onager, but I don't think Onager's really the play now. I think you just have to go straight Paladin. Castle's going to go up. Well played from yellow. Castle's up. Will the Mangonels hit, though? Nope, he's going to roll them away. So now they go down. And Castle's going to go down. This is crazy, man. Say what you want about yellow, but yellow's ranges have been non-stop queued here. Blue hasn't clicked Paladin. Blue really needs that Paladin upgrade. Lovely play from yellow. Wow, after blue killed those villagers, I just assumed this game was over. Now, this is good, right? This is good. You having your own trebs here. Blue, my friend. You have resources. You can do this. You just need to spend them. You worked so hard for these resources. Also, be as stubborn as possible with this castle. Because if you can take yellow's castle out, it's a lot easier for you to engage. Yellow making a few Showtail warriors to try and kill villagers, I guess. It's an interesting approach. He'll lose his castle now. He's also up to 61 villagers now, so his little reboom was nice. Only has so much food, though. Here come the Arbs. It's only Cavalier. I don't know, man. Ethiopian Cavalier are no joke. We don't have any micro from yellow, but melee pathing is quite awkward, and you also have the house and the Treb that is blocking this off. Blue doesn't have any more units in queue, my friends. This is ridiculous. 50 army for yellow. Blue is going down below 25 now. Yellow's going to win this game. Yellow's going to win this game. I think. Maybe. Blue's going to make more now. Now that Treb, good Treb defense here from Blue. He took out one of the two Trebs from Yellow. Yellow can't make any more just yet. Now we're going to see Yellow take out the Trebs with the Arbalest. Now this will lead to some Arbalest going down, which is important. But taking out two Trebuchets and maybe taking out the castle, I think it's all worth it. Blue still has not clicked the Paladin upgrade. Yellow, though, castles really hurt you, okay? I don't know about staying here. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Just back away for a second. Are you adding farms or what? What's the deal? He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Okay, there you go. You should care a little bit more about this. Blue, click Paladin, please. You can do it. You can do it still. I mean, I know the Vil count's really high for yellow. You can just see Blue, the panic for Blue. He's lost all belief. All belief that this is possible. The stables have stopped queuing, at least consistently. This stable actually got denied by a Showtail warrior, which is hilarious. But yeah, sorry, what I was going to say is yellow, he does have a lot of Vils, but he doesn't have food eco, so he wouldn't really be able to go into something like Calp here. But guys, the biggest talking point for me in this game, from mid-Castle Age onwards, is unit production. I don't know exactly how Yellow's going about it, but he clearly has some type of hotkey to select those or control group. And as he's taking fights, he's still producing units. And we know for Blue, like, even if Blue would have just produced only Cavalier without clicking Paladin, Blue would have won this game already. But he has not been producing all the time, and that has been a big issue for him. And it's still a very winnable game for Blue, but now Blue's behind in working villagers. Blue still has 3 relics, of course. Yellow still has yet to really apply the finishing blow to Blue. What units would you make here if you were Yellow? Well, what he's done is perfect. Arbalest until you have eco for helps. And continuing to drop castles and snowball your push to put Blue under pressure. When Blue's under pressure, he's going to take fights before he's comfortable enough to take a fight. He's going to make poor decisions. It's very easy to make good decisions when you are the one being aggressive. But yeah, Yellow, has to pull around here. But I feel like this castle spot is going to give him a bit of a buffer. For Blue, though, I would have never made anything but Cavalier. I think Blue had the economy lead where he could have just gone Paladin and won the game. But it just didn't have the production there. Having non-stop production and or chivalry would have made a really big impact in this game. I'm always so bad at this game, but it's so much fun. Yeah, man. So same with a lot of other people. There's nothing wrong with that. And Blue resigns! Blue resigns! Ah! Oh, Blue, you played so well. Oh, that was such a painful one. Still so many things that you can learn from. But honestly, like, I think it's very easy to look at this game and say, oh my God, what a throw from Blue. And that's going to be people's instincts in the comments and whatnot. But Yellow had a heck of a comeback here. How many people watching live right now and later on YouTube, how many people would say they would have resigned after they lost 25 villagers to the Night Rush, had never seen the opponent's base the entire game? I'm curious on people's thoughts there. There are a lot of people who would have just called it. And had he called the GG there, I probably would have said something like, well, kind of a shame he didn't try something in early Imperial Age with his crossbows, but he's now 40 or 50 villagers behind. He probably doesn't feel any confidence here. I can understand it. I probably would have said something like that if he would have resigned there. Because he was just behind. But he knew he was on the clock. He knew he needed a pressure. The army number was high, and it was consistent. He always had a queue. Like, here, let me go back. Let's just click at random spots. Okay. Cavalier just got queued. Arbalest already in queue. Boom. Here. Arbalest in queue. Boom. Here. Arbalest in queue. Just keep going. Arbalest in queue. Now, I wish I had stats on this, but, like, for Blue, this is when the Night Raid came in. So, honestly, I think a couple things for Blue, because I want to talk about this. So, he has the resources to go to the Imperial Age now. So, an area that really hurt him this game is this raid, because, well, it seems funny because he killed villagers. But watch his unit production throughout this raid. And I'm going to tell you an easy way to solve this. Nothing, 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 force nothing. There you go. And then he came home. So what was that, like 2 minutes? That was basically like 2 minutes. It takes a little over 3 to go imp. So now imagine that game, if he's an imp 2 minutes faster, is under less pressure, I think he wins that game. So here's my tip. I'm not opposed to raiding, and I understand people aren't perfect. Right? You're going to have some idle TC time here or there. But if you understand that about yourself, you just have to prioritize doing that before you go into an attack where you can't focus, right? Now, you know, ideally, if you really want to get better, you could use a hotkey for your TC to produce villagers while you're fighting. Watch my TC tip video on that. But, like, that's not even what I'm saying here. I don't even take it that far. You don't have to change anything about how you play it as a player, except for, oh, I'm about to take a big fight. I probably will forget to make vills. Let's just do it ahead of time. So I would say think about that. But yeah, honestly, I think if he had Paladin in this game, I think he could have still won it. Like right here is where he had 30 cav. Paladin could be on the way. He's just about to lose his first castle. And I think he ended up taking like 2 fights before he had Paladin. Like this was the first one. But yeah, with those resources, if he has Paladin, he probably clears it up and wins the game. GG.